How are we doing on time? 10 minutes. Brevity being the soul of wit, right? Governor Kane, Mayor Jones, Mr. Ucrop, distinguished guests, couldn't resist this, friends, Richmonders, and countrymen. Let me add a thank you. Let me start by adding a thank you to the ones that you've heard thus far. It's almost impossible to express the gratitude that we feel, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. So thank you to all those who have labored on the beautiful building behind me for 8.5 years. Thank you. Supporting the construction or wielding the tools. Thank you. Designing, preparing to perform on these stages, work backstage or sit in the seats. Thank you. Could you join me, please, in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all of those folks? Last week I got a new pair of glasses. It had been 10 years since I got a new pair. If you've had this experience, you know how the world is suddenly 100 times sharper, clearer, more wondrous, and full of possibility. I can see my speech. The light around you is more brilliant, the gift of life more beautiful. It's like having new eyes. So, yet as the newness of the glasses ebbs, I have to remind myself of that first light of possibility. I've been asked today to tell you a little bit about what it means to the artists, what it means for the artists who will perform in it to have this building behind me open. You can imagine there's no pressure there, or anything. How easy and how simple that task will be. But having new eyes is a great way to think about it. So I'm humbled and delighted that so many of you will get to see us perform tonight, and that we will be back on the Carpenter Theater stage. On that stage, you will hear what it means to be back, you will feel what it means to be back, you will see what it means. It's like having new eyes. So, real quickly, can I see a show of hands? How many of you happened to be here on February 21st, 2001 inside that theater? There's a hand, there's a hand, there's a hand, there's a hand. You may remember that year that they gave out a little bit of the floor, a little bit of the parquet floor with the date stamped on it. That's how I remember. I don't have that good of a memory. It's all crammed with Shakespeare. The date is stamped on that little piece of parquet floor of what it used to mean to look at this building. And there's my piece, February 21st, 2001. So 8.5 years ago, Richmond came together. We got up on stage together. We looked at a need together, and we came up with a dream together. This block meant something very different 8.5 years ago. There was a recession, there were buildings in need of saving, and the performing arts community and a downtown desperate to realize their potential to see themselves with new eyes. Now, CenterStage means that Richmond's wonderful symphony and Virginia's incredible opera will be given the chance to resonate not just in the most beautiful, but also the best acoustic theater in town. Now CenterStage means that thousands of students who lost strings programs will have a place to learn about the world by learning their instrument. Now CenterStage means that the resident performance companies have a welcoming home for their audiences and a place to focus the energies of our performing arts community. Now CenterStage fully renovated means that anyone can access its performance spaces. Young or old, young or seasoned citizens, able bodies or able souls. Now CenterStage means that we are able to celebrate all of our stories through the works of the theater companies, the dance, the folk, the jazz music companies, and displays in the gallery along the 7th Street side of the building and next to Rhythm Hall. I can't wait for you to see Legba Folklore Society tonight, the drumming and the dance. But where's Janine Bell? Is she here? Is she here? She is a treasure to Richmond. Find her, hold her dear, hold her dear. Now CenterStage means that thousands of young people will learn about identity and the connections between voice, emotion, and intellect as they hear and watch performances of William Shakespeare and Langston Hughes, and have a chance to perform those words themselves. Now CenterStage means that hundreds of thousands of Richmonders, Virginians, and our guests will be able to see shows not just from the road called Broadway, but also the professionals, the homegrown professionals from the road called Broad Street. Now CenterStage means that the most exciting and finest ballet company on the East Coast, the company that can take New York City by storm, can bring their renown into a performance venue worthy of their art. It means all of this. It means a lot more, even to the artists who are only beginning to think about performing within its walls. And some of them are here tonight. But it means much more to those audiences who are coming to see us as well. Now CenterStage means that the beauty of the Carpenter Theater will be preserved for generations yet to come. More importantly, you heard a little bit about this before, but CenterStage now means that women in attendance will not miss intermission or the top of the second half of the show while they wait for a restroom stall to come available. The bathrooms are huge. These things are important. This day is far more important than we here today, I think, can guess. So my urging to you is to tell your children about the day you were here, about having new eyes on the day that the ribbon was cut. Tell them that only in the arts can we see, with fresh eyes, all the splendor of our human experience given light. Tell them to keep striving, keep working, keep driving, and moving them toward that light. And again, thank you to all who will perform tonight, all who will attend, and to all who participated in the beginning. Think about today as a beginning. Come hear what it means, come live what it means, come see what it means. I hope you'll come see the show tonight inside CenterStage. Thank you very, very much.